Hey blues fans, welcome to another episode of This Week in the Blues. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen, and it's our chance to look at what happened this week in blues history. The Queen of the Boogie, Hadda Brooks, was born October 29th in 1916. She sang at Hawaii's statehood ceremony in 1959 and was asked for a private audience by Pope Pius XII. Brooks preferred ballads to boogie-woogie, but worked on her style after listening to Albert Ammons, Pete Johnson, and Meade Lux Lewis records. Her first recording, Swinging the Boogie, was a regional hit in 1945. She was inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Foundation Hall of Fame in 1993. Fleetwood Mac founder Peter Green was born October 29th in 1946. The English blues guitarist first learned guitar at the age of 11 and soon mastered the instrument. In October 1965, Green had the opportunity to fill in for Eric Clapton in John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers for 4 gigs. Soon afterwards, Green became a full-time member of Mayall's band. In 1967, Green decided to leave the Bluesbreakers with Mick Fleetwood and John McVie forming Fleetwood Mac. The blues classic, Baby Please Don't Go, was recorded by Delta blues musician Big Joe Williams on October 31st in 1935 in Chicago. Many cover versions followed, and it's become one of the most played, arranged, and rearranged pieces in blues history. The original recording features Williams on vocal and guitar, Dad Tracy on one-string fiddle, and Chasey Kokomo Collins on washboard. Blues singer Julia Lee was born October 31st in 1902 in Boonville, Missouri. She's sometimes categorized as a dirty blues singer because of some of the lyrics of songs like King Size Papa, Snatch and Grab It, and the Spin It song. Lee was raised in Kansas City and began her musical career around 1920, singing and playing piano in her brother George Lee's band, which for a time also included Charlie Parker. Blues piano player Little Johnny Jones was born November 1st, 1924 in Jackson, Mississippi. In 40 short years on earth, he established himself as one of the greatest piano players ever to hit the Chicago blues scene, and that's saying something. Jones arrived in Chicago from Mississippi in 1946 with Little Walter and babyface Leroy Foster. Jones is best known for his rock-solid accompaniment to slide guitarist Elmore James. Jones joined Tampa Red's band in 1947. November 1st is a big day for blues and gospel legend Sippie Wallace, who was both born and died on that day. She was born in 1898 and started performing in the 1920s. Wallace kept performing and recording up until her death in 1986. She was a major influence on a young Bonnie Raitt, who recorded several of Wallace's songs and performed live with her. Mississippi Hill country blues singer and harmonica player Johnny Woods was born November 1st in 1917. His harmonica playing first gained attention in the 1960s when he was a duet partner with the guitarist and singer Mississippi Fred McDowell. They recorded a number of records together starting in 1967 for a variety of labels. The founder of Peacock Records, Don Roby, was born November 1st in 1903. As the eventual owner of Duke Records, he was responsible for developing the careers of many rhythm and blues artists in the 50s and 60s. Artists included the likes of Big Mama Thornton, Bobby Blue Bland, Otis Rush, Junior Parker, and Clarence Gatemouth Brown. The blues standard, The Sky is Crying, written by Elmore James, was first recorded by him on November 3rd or November 4th in 1959. It became an R&B record chart hit and has been covered by numerous artists. In 1969, Albert King recorded The Sky is Crying for the album Years Gone By. Stevie Ray Vaughan performed and recorded the song regularly, and it was finally released after his death as the title track on his 1991 album, The Sky is Crying. Delta blues pianist Willie Love was born November 4th in 1906. He spent most of his active career in Greenville, Mississippi, where he met blues harp player Sonny Boy Williamson in 1942. The pair played regularly on Nelson Street, the main drag in the black section of Greenville, and it was Williamson who brought Love into the fold at Trumpet Records. Memphis blues guitarist and harmonica player Memphis Willie Be was born November 4th in 1911. He was known for his work with Jack Kelly's Jug Busters and the Memphis Jug Band. After being discharged from the Army after World War II, he discovered it hard to find work as a musician and eventually took up other employment. His career was revived for several years in the 1960s. Blues singer and guitarist Delbert McClinton was born November 4th in 1940. From his first professional stage appearance in 1957 to his most recent national tour or studio release, he has recorded albums for several major record labels and singles that have reached the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, Mainstream Rock Tracks, and Hot Country Songs charts. 4 of his albums have been number 1 on the blues chart, and another reached number 2. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week, so we'll see you then.